So good evening all. Thank you for coming here. So for operations, we are having I am myself from operations, and along with me we have Sagar, then we have Sriram, and I think Dinesh. So by the time you must have listened to our interview experience for me and Sagar in the YouTube videos and all. So I would request Dinesh to tell his interview experience from operations to start the meeting. Dinesh, you there? No. Hello, Dinesh. Saga, Dinesh is there, no?
Yes, he is there. You can start with Sriram. I will call him. I will call Dinesh.
Okay. Sriram, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yeah. So you can start your interview experience last year.
Yeah, okay. That's good. So, good evening, all. Like you said, I'm Sriram. Like I'm from operations background. Basically, when I attended the let's go with the interview part, and uh, basically when I attended the interview, I was interviewed by two professors only, and they initially, they started with asking about my background, and I'm basically from mechanical engineering background. So, they asked about my background, and then they immediately went into the research proposal part, and basically the main question was what I was faced was, what is the novel idea behind the research proposal? So what yeah, uh, so what is the main thing which we would like to propose and so on. So that was they don't expect something like, a normal MILP, or a normal over, I mean, like over related topics, like, because they know about it. I mean, we just need to be short and crisp on it, and that was initially asked for me. And then oh, breaking, 1 second, like, is it proper now? I mean, part, I mean,
Yeah, clear.
yeah, now it's clear. Okay, great. Okay, yeah, sure. Okay, I have to start with my okay. My grade score was in mechanical. It was I'm just 2020 pass out, and it was 520, and my CGPA was 9.2. So hope that answers. So yeah, so okay, so yeah. So after continuing that thing, and so after they asked me regarding the novel idea and so on, like, yeah, they were mainly asking like what are the subjects which was there in my BTech, which I faced, which was relevant with the operations group, and uh, and they asked me whether I was okay with one among the subjects which they would ask, like operation research. And basically the questions basically started with, pretty initially easy stuff like what is OR and all those kind of things, and then it went a bit a kind of depth, like a transportation problem, and assignment problem. And I mean, like, they asked me to, write up few constraints on transportation assignment and so on. Like, actually in our I mean, for people from mechanical background, like, you could, or people who have done their OR during their undergraduation days, that you could tell, like we were not thought of, we did learn in LP formulations, but writing constraints for assignment and, transportation was not that much, explored, like would have been explored in a BTech days. But we basically would have solved using all this, heuristic methods, which was kind of would have been discussed, like this northwest corner rule and those kind of stuff. They never, like, even for me or who I, like, interacted with other people, they never ask questions like to solve any problem or so. They ask only basically the constraints what we would write, and, the objective function, and how we would formulate a problem, and so on. That's all. So I would ask people to, kind of focus on that, and that was the main thing. And yeah, and basically, and kind of on application stuffs also. So it was only 20-minute interview, and this was basically the thing which was kind of asked during the time. And I would say, like, as far as preparing for this interview stuffs, and I would say, like, research proposal is really important. It's very important. Did anybody starts? Okay. So yeah, research proposal is really important, and it is like you guys need to spend much more time in it, and basically you must focus more on what is the new idea which you would like to propose, rather than writing the proposal on what and all methodology you can follow, or what and all is already there. It should not be like a literature survey or so. It should, so you can, like, like, when I interact with few people, like, they told, many people told, like, it's difficult for finding that novel idea or so. So a basic idea would be like you could read into research papers where and look into that scope of future work. I mean, that division of it. And when you kind of read this scope of future work, you could get some idea regarding yeah, you could get some idea on what to propose and so on. And I think, the subjects which you could cover up is, apart from OR, is statistics, and yeah, so basic statistics, and I think, and probability also, and Bayes theorem is also kind of pretty important. And I guess this is what I would say. And I don't know, like, should I cover any other thing? I mean, we'll see. Like, you could, or anybody. I mean, you guys have any question? Like,
Yeah, anyone, if you have any question, you can ask directly.
yeah. Yeah, but actually, maths is also it's really important. That's why I said, like, probability and statistics stuff, because that there are people who sit, like, who are not from mechanical or production industrial engineering background. I mean, who haven't attended any classes in OR or so. So for them, evaluation will be based on this probability and statistics, and and business statistics, or those kind of subjects only they'll ask, because they ask your I mean, any interview, like whichever professor interviews you, they'll definitely ask your background, and questions will be according to that. Like, they even asked me, like, what are the subjects, as I told earlier, what are the subjects I had during my BTech. So depending on that only they ask. So that's, yeah, so hope that answers. Yeah, so probability and statistics also, yeah, that's right.
Okay, now let's take for Dinesh about his interview experience. I think only Sriram and Dinesh were left last year who didn't share their interview experience. I and Sagar, like we explained. So Dinesh, you there?
Yeah, TNT, I'm here. So yeah, good afternoon, guys. I'm Dinesh Khairnar, and yeah, I passed out in 2019 with the CGPA of 9.04 and the GATE score of 684. But I applied for the interview in 2020. Then they asked me what were I doing for a year. Then I said I repeated for the GATE, but I couldn't score much. So they said, okay, fine. Then they told me what was your undergraduation project. Then I just said that we had prepared a pellet making machine, and so I just a little bit described them. Then they said that's fine. Not even description. They just asked me title. Yeah, they just asked me title. Then after that, we had made a machine. So then they said that how did you do marketing of the machine? I mean the promotion kind of stuff. Then I said, sir, it was a industry sponsored project. So our part was not belong to that. We were using just a kind of design and analysis stuff. Then they said that's fine. Then the faculty asked me whether you have done any courses based on this operational research. Then I said, yes, sir. I had I took the electives as operation research and industrial during my final year of BTech. Then they said that's fine. Then he asked me which topics you learned there. Then I answered like linear programming, transportation, assignment, project management, scheduling, sequencing, and green like that. Then said that's fine. Then on which topic should I ask you the questions? And actually, by that time, I wasn't specific to particular topic. Then just by chance, I just said, sir, project management. I thought like whether I said it correct or not, that's don't know, but that's fine now what I have said. Then they said, okay, fine, project management. Then he just asked me what are the evaluation methods of the project management. Then I said there are two like CPM and PERT. Then that's fine. CPM and PERT. Then he asked me the basic difference. Then I just said like CPM is a deterministic model, while the PERT is a probabilistic model. And so for that case, we need to use the 3 time periods there. That is that optimistic time, pessimistic time, then that mode time. Then he said, okay. Then he said, why do you need to use 3 times there? Then I said, practically there are the certain methods or certain processes. For example, if you consider the project of any road building, then it's like you need to process of land acquisition. So in that activity, that the time is quite uncertain.
Hello, Dinesh.
Yes, yes, Dean.
Can you please go to an isolated room? I think lots of dogs are barking outside.
Okay.
Their voice is overshadowing yours.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, wait, just for a minute. I'll just close you. Is it okay now?
Yeah, fine.
So then, they just said why 3 times. Then I said like this. So they said that's fine. Okay, good. And then he asked me what kind of distribution we use in order to show the project. Then I said like if you consider the activities, then those are shown as a beta distribution, and the entire project can be cumulatively expressed as a normal distribution. Then he said okay, fine. Then he said whether you know about the crashing in the project management. Then I said yes, I do know about that. Then he said okay. So he asked me why do we do the crashing. Then I said so mainly for the two purposes, like if you want to reduce the time of the project, or if you want to reduce the cost of the project. Then he said how I mean the cost will be reduced as you need to do crashing or outsourcing, subcontracting. Then you need to pay the extra cost. And I just thought, and then I said, sir, like there is also overhead cost, and so if we reduce that, then I mean if the overhead cost is less than the crashing cost, then there will be reduction in the project cost. So he said, okay. Then I think the faculty is part of OR, and then Usha ma'am was there, and then she said okay. Then she said, as you earlier stated about the normal distribution, then what is that? Then what do we call that function as? So I think I couldn't answer this. So the answer was like that the function is just called as a probability density function. Okay. Then so that the question I couldn't answer. Then after that, then she gave me one question that little bit depend. Yeah, I'll just show my that screen. I'll just wait. So that you will get the idea what the question it was. Hello?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah. So here it is now. Then the ma'am just gave me this kind of distribution, these two curves, that is normal distribution. Then she said whether these two distributions are correct or not. Then I said, I just, you just guys, okay, fine. Then I said, no, ma'am, it's not correct. Then she said, why? Then as you know that the area under the probability distribution density function should be equal to 1. But so as you could see, like if this is 1, then definitely this should be more than 1. So it's contradicting the stuff. Then she said, how are you going to correct it? So I just said, ma'am, let me think. And you should actually use this word like let me think, and like you should take time. You should not like everything and you just, so that is not. So they just think that you actually should not bother whether you are going to give correct answer or wrong. Actually IIT faculty is like with my other experiences also in the other departments, they're happy if you get wrong and after that you correct the thing. So that actually impresses them more rather than just knowing everything and just telling directly. So don't do like that. Just take your time and then answer. Then I just do like this, and I said, ma'am, you can do in this way. And she said, okay, good. Yeah. Then after that, she just said like what other. Yeah. Then she said what other distributions then I said like Poisson distribution is there, and then that I said exponential distribution. So she said where do you find the practical application of the distributions? And I said that I saw it in the green theory. Then she said like this, that Poisson distribution is what is basic difference between this Poisson distribution and the exponential distribution. And I said like, ma'am, this Poisson distribution is a kind of discrete distribution, while this exponential distribution is a continuous distribution. I mean the variable is continuous there, while in the Poisson distribution the variable is discrete. So she said, okay, good. Then apart from this, yeah, I think, yeah, this much was the interview, and that's it. So if you talk about the preparation for the interview, then yeah, just revise the industrial management, operation research, and yeah, probability and statistic parts. I think that is the enough for the interview. Yeah, this much only. If anyone has doubt or any
Thank you,
question.
Dinesh.
Yeah.
So thank you. So most probably in a nutshell, you can tell that you have to revise all the concepts which were in your industrial engineering during your GATE days, as well as all the concepts which were in the probability and statistics inside mathematics. Okay, so you can just prepare for the whatever was there in your GATE syllabus. Not they would not expect more than that. Okay. So regarding where you should search for like this industrial and all. So I'm just sharing my screen to show you. Is it visible, Dinesh? Hello?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Yes, yes.
So the best playlist you can search for is our G. Srinivasan sir. He is the faculty here only. So here you will get all the basics. Okay, for example, first if you go for this operation research here, in this playlist you would find this LPP, transportation and assignment. Okay, if you don't watch all these videos, only watch till what was there of in your GATE syllabus, not more than that. Okay, this is for the linear programming. In this playlist you would get linear programming, transportation as well as assignment. And if you want to go for forecasting, aggregate planning, inventory models, sequencing and scheduling, just click here, this operation and supply chain management. In this playlist he would like explain from zero to the most like advanced. Don't like, if you are not able to follow advanced, it's fine, just follow till whatever it was taught in the GATE syllabus and all. So initially there is forecasting, then aggregate planning, then inventory, and focus also not just only deterministic, like most probably we all during our GATE days focus only on deterministic, because in the GATE past years and all, the probabilistic method questions is very rare. So we just focus on the deterministic, but here they will grind you through probabilistic also, because there they can link you to statistics, this distributions table and normal distributions and all. There they can directly link from the probabilistic models in the inventory also. So here you can see that in the inventory models, starting from the deterministic, he will also go to the probabilistic models. Okay, so after that also you can see here this sequencing scheduling is also taught inside this playlist. So these are the basic two playlists. Like I was getting the questions like from which playlist we should refer to and all. So these are the two basic playlists. If you cover these two, and they will ask from which area should they ask you questions. So just prepare at most like 2 to 3 or at least 2 to 3. Okay, not less than that or not more than that. Okay, so if you tell for forecasting or inventory or linear programming, they will ask among these three only. So no need to study like apart from these also, because you will not be able to like just study at depth inside all this. And the third thing is like one simple hack you need to use during your interviews is like you must go through all the faculties who are under operations. Like first of all, I'm talking about operations. After that, we have other seniors from different like HR. We have from marketing also. We also have from IS also. So we will go to that. But I'm talking about operations. So you can go to you should go to all the faculty list. And inside the faculty list, just check their area of interest. Okay, research area of interest. There you will get to know like which all areas they work on, and if you coincidentally face that particular teacher or that particular faculty, then you can resonate with him or her according to your research, like prior research. For example, you go through all the, like you should go through all the faculties, and you should remember their faces and all. And when you would face them in their interview, you can talk to them with respect to their area of interest and all. That would make you resonate with them. Okay, so just use simple hack and that simple hack and all, and put these keywords, like if they also asked me, like through which methods you can solve these linear programming and all, only through only this graphical method and all, but apart from graphical method, we can also solve it through Excel, as well as there are a lot of softwares with us, like Cplex is there, as well as GAMS is also there. These two softwares are used for linear programming optimizations. Different linear, non-linear optimization. GAMS and Cplex. These two are like two of those softwares which are used for optimization. I think I didn't know at that point of time, and I think they expected like these two softwares from me, but I didn't know at that point of time. And also regarding data science and all, you can, if you are interested in data science or data analytics, you can go check Nandan Sudarsanam sir's profile. He has like his area of interest is completely on data science and all. So for that, you need to have some basics of, if you tell that you know some basics of Python or R, then you will definitely have an upper hand if Nandan sir is in your interview panel. So basically, go through all of them, all of their area of interest, and remember their faces. Okay, so that to whomever you face, you can resonate with them well. Okay, so that's how I want to conclude for operations. So any question for operations, we can take it now. Yeah, you can.
Yes. Hello.
Yeah.
How important is the SOP, means SOP that we wrote and submitted? Will be the questions asked from the SOP also? Yeah,
definitely. It completely depends upon the faculty. Okay, for me it was not there. For me only at the end, my SOP was a little bit. Sorry, not SOP. It is a research proposal for this. SOP is for others. So my research proposal was a combination of total quality management and supply chain management. So at the end, they asked me whether like, have you taken any course for supply chain, or do you know anything about supply chain and all? So I just said that, like, yeah, I did a NPTEL course for supply chain soon after my GATE got over and all. So that I did long back. So I just said that I did that, and they were pretty satisfied. And they just need basic definitions. Okay, they would not expect anything which you have not covered in your GATE syllabus. Okay, not a single thing. For example, if you have written any fancy terms in your research proposal or all, then also they would not expect you to know in complete detail. If you can only explain it superficially in the surface level also, they will be satisfied. Just be thorough, like whatever terms you have used in your research proposal. It's not that if you have used extremely fancy words like game theory and all, and if their eyes go into that particular word and they ask you what is this game theory, and you are completely blank, then that would be very like troublesome for you. Okay, so that's the thing. So research proposal is also important. It varies from faculty to faculty. It varies from their mood. Okay, they may ask, they might ask, they might not also ask. Okay.
Yeah, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
So I'm from architecture background. Like I have not like learned anything about this operations or any other graphs regarding the syllabus in my GATE. So what will, if I'm being shortlisted, what will be the kind of interview which I have to face?
So your research proposal was based on?
Integrative management.
Okay, so basically you need to be thorough about whatever stuff you have written in your research proposal. Okay, apart from that, areas which are related to your research proposal, just like if integrative management, you need to go through that aggregate planning and all, this normal operation management terms and all, those you need to be like clear. I showed you that that supply chain of G. Srinivasan sirs, that one is also quite good. Like if you started from today, you can complete it by your interview time. Okay, you need to be thorough. Like if you are not, even though if you're not from this operations or mechanical or any production background, you need to be thorough about about whichever research proposal you're applying, and they will ask you what is your favorite subject. Okay, they will ask you on which subject you want to continue your interview on. So whichever subject you will say, and at that direction your interview will go on. Correct?
Okay. Yeah. So will they ask any questions regarding general aptitude, like probability?
No. Yeah. Probability and statistics is also there. No. Yeah. Okay. Probability till whatever was there in a GATE syllabus, probability and statistics, that is must. Okay. That is extensively, that is a very integral part of this operations. Okay. So probability and statistics, all those distributions starting from Poisson, normal, everything, triangular, uniform, each and every distribution, and don't only mug up the formulas and the graphs. Okay, you have to be thorough about its physical interpretation as well. Correct?
So please can you
Thanks.
Hello.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm completed my graduation in industrial engineering, and during that I completed two projects, but my GATE score is near 520. So, and I applied according to my project. I write the research proposal, find the research data, and applied for that. So, is it possible for that related?
It depends on your research proposal as well as your this CGPA also. Okay.
CGPA is 8.5.
Yeah. If your research proposal is strong, then you might get selected. Okay. Okay. Now, now I would request I think Somdeep to share his interview experience on IS, and for all the operations question, please hold on till the end. Till the end, we can take all the questions together. Okay, together. So now I think Somdeep, you can go on.
Hi everyone. Congratulations to all of you, for all those who have selected. Now I'll share my experiences. So firstly, they had asked me some basic questions about what I did after my BTech. I was in industry for 1 year, so I told them I was in industry and doing those type of works, and then they asked me about my BTech projects. I did several BTech projects in my BTech. So they asked me about those, and they asked me in full detail. I had to explain in full detail, like what was the objective and what algorithms I used, what was my role in the team, what were the outputs, how were the outputs, and then after this they came to so in one of the projects I did some clustering. I used some clustering algorithms. So they asked me a few technical questions on clustering, about what is clustering and how the algorithms work. And next they came to my research proposal. So my research proposal was on recommender system. So again they told me to explain it to them, what was the objective, how the idea came in my mind, and what planning am I doing to do the research, and how do I plan it, how do I work with it, and have I made any proceedings with it or not. Also they asked me on how the impacts will be on the market if my thing goes out. Also so overall these things they asked about my research proposal and my projects. And then they asked a few technical questions from discrete mathematics, mainly the parts of probability, and a few questions from stat. Very easy questions were those. And then a few questions from data structures. So basically my interview was for about 20 minutes. And these were basically the questions that were asked. And one suggestions that I would give all of you, that do not try to trick the faculty, whoever is in the panel. Do not try to trick them. Do not try to oversmart them. Think your answer, whatever questions they ask. Take time, think, and then answer. Even if you make a small mistake, they will help you also they will expect that you will give some answer, but do not try to directly tell the wrong answer in prompt, or try to trick the faculty. Do not ever try to trick the faculty. Also, I suggest that learn, at least know what you have written in your CV, so that you can speak at least 2 minutes of everything that you have written in your CV. They will go by your CV in detail, and they will go by your research proposal in detail. So these are the suggestions from me. If you have any questions, you can ask.
Yeah, we will take up the questions at the end, like collaborating all operation, IS, finance, HR, marketing, everything. Now let us like finish off these interview experiences and all. Next, I think Vijaya ma'am, you can go for finance.
Thanks, Tulsi. Hello to everybody. All the best for all of you. I think the process is not yet started. As Tulsi had mentioned, it would probably take about 7 to 10 days. Anytime after May 16th, I think that week is when we are expecting the interviews. I don't know how many of you all are from finance, but I will just give a brief on what had happened last year for my interview. Basically, it just started off like a typical interview, asking me to tell about my background. So I did that. I had some work experience also. I've been in the industry as well as academics. So there was there were some questions based on what I have done in my workplace and things like that. But that was very brief. Once I had introduced myself and talked about my experiences and all that, they straight away went to the research proposal. So as all the others colleagues of mine have been saying, it is all about your research proposal. So what have you actually done in your research proposal? Whatever is your area, on that they will definitely ask you questions. For example, mine was in the field of stock markets. So what they expect, suppose if you say, if your research proposal is, for example, on stock markets, so then you have to say what exactly you want to do and why you chose this particular thing as your research proposal. So for example, if you say stock markets, I want to know about, let's say today it's all about the COVID and crisis. So during crisis times, how will I select the best investment avenue from among the various investment opportunities available? So suppose if that was my research proposal, then they would definitely ask you questions on that, on investment avenues, and then what are, how do you go about this in like in operations, as the others have said, is already you have studied a lot of probability, statistics, and the different distributions and all that. Whereas when we come to finance or HR or things like that, we may not have that kind of a background, of a statistical background. So we did not have much of questions on the statistical techniques used in the interview in finance especially. But they would be asking us questions where we have to prove that we have read some earlier research works on whatever we have proposed. So if I'm saying stock market or investment avenues, I should definitely come prepared with some recent research works on this. So basically, see, somebody had even asked how to prepare for the, how do I explain research proposal? I would say that one thing is, there is a possibility, of course, it completely depends on the panel. Usually we have a panel of 2 people from the domain that we have chosen. It is possible that one of them may also ask you to make a small presentation on the research proposal. So at least in finance, I would suggest that those of you who are applying in the finance domain, if you can have a small presentation, like say 4 to 5 slides of your research proposal, summarizing what you want to do in your, what your objective or what exactly you want to do in your research and why you want to do that. And for that why part, these are the 2 important things, what and why. And for the why part, you will have to come up with some kind of explanation based on the past research works that have been done. So you can say that of late, these were the research works done. And to develop on this earlier research work, I thought that this particular area of research or this particular kind of research or topic of research would be very useful. So this is what is important, I feel. You can start with why, And maybe in finance, there are a lot of theories. If you look at stock market, there are a lot of theories. If you look at capital structure theories, we have investment theories and all that. So if you're, you can be thorough with the theories as such. And because we will have to talk about those theories as the basis for our research. And that is a preparation part of it. So, and one more thing that I would like to say is whatever research proposal, whatever research area you have chosen, it would be best if you know something that is happening in the current scenario. For example, stock market, then if there is the recent NSE scam. So in my case, since I was talking about stock markets, I was asked about the scam also. So I had to talk a little about the scam. And so the recent happenings which are related to your research area, they would definitely ask you. And as Somdeep was also saying, we shouldn't try any, it's okay, it's absolutely okay to not know the answers for 1 or 2 questions, and we can just say so. And in fact, if we ask them, ma'am, may I know the answer for this, then they're very happy to explain. They know a lot, so there's no way that I don't think we will anyway be successful in kind of beating them or saying that I know so much. So that attitude, there is no scope of showing that kind of attitude, but they are okay with if we don't know some answers. So they will be able to even give you answers for a couple of things. So for example, for me, they asked the name of the person who was actually, in the NSE scam, the person who was involved. So I didn't know that at that point of time. So ma'am was actually giving me the name and even gave me a brief background of that person and how she had made NSE a very great place and all that. So these 3 things, why the research proposal, if possible, be prepared with a small presentation. It's okay if they don't ask you to present, but I think if they ask you to explain, and if you have a presentation, I think it will give you some extra brownie points. And as Tulsi was saying, be thorough with whatever you have in your research proposal. So if I say I want to measure liquidity of the stock market, and then suddenly if they ask you, do you know how liquidity is measured? And then I shouldn't be like, blinking and not knowing what to do. So something I should have read, and I should very subtly tell the panel that I have read something in this particular area, and therefore this is how I want to contribute. So this is what I would like to say. Thank you. Any questions? I can take it up here.
Okay, next I think Snake can go on for marketing.
Tulsi.
Yes, hello everyone.
Meghna has to go somewhere, so he can start.
Okay.
Snake, can you go next?
Okay.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, Meghna.
Yeah, sorry guys. I have a meeting at 9 p.m. So I thought I'll go first. Is that okay? Yes, it's perfectly fine.
Sure. Yeah. Go on.
Okay, cool. So I'll just jump right into the interview process. So mine started off with the Big Bang, the proposal. They asked me why this topic, why I have chosen these variables, and what is the novelty of this topic. So you need to be thorough with the literature that you must have reviewed for the topic, and while discussing about the proposal, it would be better if you quote some seminal papers. Seminal papers are the ones which are very highly regarded in that particular area. So if you quote them, see, like for example, such and such an author has said such and such things, then they'll be very impressed. Okay. So next was regarding the proposal itself. They were like, what are the most popular journals that you have, what are the most popular journals in this area? So that is a direct question. So for example, in HR and OB, there are certain journals like Journal of Organizational Behavior, Journal of Applied Psychology. These are a few journals that are very popular. So they might ask you what they are. Next was, So while talking about these journals, if it is better if you know certain papers also that are popular in these journals. Next, after the proposal discussion, we had so they asked me certain questions in HR and OB topics. There are a lot of theories in OB, like the motivation theories, the what group processes, a lot of things that you can read in HR and OB, right from Maslow's to the to the conventional theories. So everything and anything is a possibility. And then uh, so depending upon your proposal, whether it is OB or HR, they can ask you different questions. Like if it is a more of a HR paper, HR proposal, then they can ask you, what is talent management, what is sustainability in HRM, what is the recruitment process, how do you do onboarding. So all these are the HR related topics. Next, if your paper has some psychological aspect to it, like positive psychology in organization behavior, so there you can talk about for example, if there is a proposal for wages and salary, then what are the attitudes and behaviors of the employee during appraisal time, what are the behaviors that employees show, what are the trait theories. So all these also are a possibility. That is HR, OB, and psychology. Now, next, also depending upon the topic, they can ask you about group dynamics, conflict management, team management, politics in an office place. So all these also possibilities. Next, they would talk about your resume or whatever you have written in your resume, and depending upon what is your UG. For example, you come from a technical background, you did your BTech now or B. Now, why have you chosen HR and OB? So be prepared with such questions. Like, for example, somebody was an architect and they wanted to do something else. Like, so why have you jumped from that profession to this profession? Why do you want to do this course? So these questions are pretty obvious. So it is better if you write this down, or at least have some bullet points, like why are you taking this step in your life, or you can relate it to some personal experience. For example, if you have job experience, you can say that while working in my organization, I came through these HR options and these HR problems, and this motivated me to think about this topic, and that is why I have written such and such proposal. So you can do something like that. Then share some life experiences. That will be very nice. Next, because I'm a BTech graduate and very little experience about research, they asked me a lot of research methodology questions. Like, what is the difference between qualitative and quantitative? What are the softwares that are available to crunch the data? How do you plan on measuring the variables that I had mentioned in the proposal? For example, if I say I want to calculate, my research proposal had a variable called turnover or enrichment. So how do I plan on measuring turnover, or how do I plan on measuring enrichment? So there are certain scales to measure these things. So there are standardized scales. You can't just give some random questionnaire and get these variables. So there are some specific scales. So what are those scales? So if you have written the proposal, you will know what are the standard scales which will be used to measure these variables. So all those scales you have to be very thorough with. Then for example, if your proposal is like high stress levels in an organization is causing turnover, so how do you measure stress? So there is one person who prepared a standardized scale on this. So all those scales also you need to be very thorough with. Then they'll ask you questions like, in your proposal you have done this, so who will be your sample? Like which sort of employees are you going to survey for this particular proposal? Then what is sample, what are the sample sizes? Then difference between the various scales, ratio, interval, ordinal, and all that. Then what is reliability, what is validity? So these were some of the research based questions that I was asked. So this was the end of the my interview. So I would like to give few tips One would be to look into the faculty profiles before you get into the interview. We have about four faculty who have done, you know, very good work in their respective areas. So look at that work. You know, you can actually quote one of them in the interview, or you can say that, you know, I was inspired by this paper or something like that. Look into it, and it's not like some random, you're just faking it, but they have really done some quality work. So just look into that and see whose work is more relevant to your area, and contact them. Post interview also you can message them if you have any doubts. They'll be very happy to clear it for you. So coming to books, for OB, I would suggest Robinson's and Judge. For HRM, I would suggest Dessler. And for research methodology, I think any book is okay. But because most of you are beginners, I would suggest any Indian author, so that it will just be easier for you to read. That's all from my side, guys.
Thank you so much, Meghna. Now I think Snake can go in for marketing.
Yeah, I have one question to Meghna.
Yeah.
So, like you said, to contact the professor. Like, is it like to mail them, or like regarding this after the interview process, regarding some doubts?
Yeah, so basically, if they ask you something out of the blue, if they ask you, you know, why didn't you read that paper in that journal that is very popular? Suddenly, you don't know where to find these papers, because as as you're not affiliated to any institute, it'll be very difficult for you to find these papers in the first place. There are very few open access journals out there. So if they say, why didn't you refer to this paper, you can always revert back to them saying, ma'am, I couldn't find this paper you were talking about in the interview. Could you help me out? Or it may not be about a paper also. It could be about, you know, something that she asked you and you didn't have time to clarify in the interview. So you can always mail them to their official email IDs. They'll mostly revert back within 1 or 2 days.
Okay. So it wouldn't be an extra advantage, added advantage, like the probably be more to get selected.
That is difficult to say, but depends on totally how your interview goes. By the end of your interview, you will get an idea ki acha gaya hai, ya what the thing is. So just in case you don't want that impression, you don't want to leave that impression ki ye question maine I didn't cover this question well or something like that. You can always revert back to them saying why you couldn't do it, or reason like I didn't have the paper you were talking about, or I didn't hear of this journal. Can you help me where I can find this so and so paper, or which book can I refer? So such things you can always ask them on email, but don't be very personal. Don't be like I had a good experience in the interview. I mean, don't butter them up very obviously. Just be very specific, and your doubt has to be genuine. You can't make something up. So whatever happened in the interview, usko perspective mein dal ke, whatever genuine doubt you will have, that only you can message. If you fake it, like Somdeep and Vijay were saying, if you fake it, they'll know.
Okay, yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Okay, Snake. For marketing.
So yeah, I'll talk about my interview experience in general across all the IITs. I appeared for 3 interviews across India, out of which I'll tell you what doesn't work actually. So you make the impression in the first 2-3 minutes, which I hope that should be good. If you screwed that 2-3 minutes, your interview is gonna be screwed next as well. So be very precise in your introduction, and in your introduction itself, make it clear like why you have chosen the subject. So from where interests come to ask you all the questions related to your domain. So in some of the IITs, what they did talk about research proposal at all. They talked about our domain. For me, it was marketing. So all the theories of marketing were asked. Their authors, they specifically had a lot of emphasis on authors, like which author has written this book, which author has this theory, all the popular theories of marketing. So be very, very thorough with all of them. For example, IIT Delhi and KJP, these are very, very much concerned about these subject domain related knowledge. And also what's happening in the industry, as marketing is a very industry related subject. So what happens across, what these companies are doing, what with the like leader of marketing, all these startups, how marketing is different from. So all the industry relevant should be very, very clear to you. You must be aware about what's happening, and that's true. But at IITM, what happened? I more focused on my research proposal. So coming to research proposal, whatever you have written on your research proposal, that know thoroughly. You cannot write anything or everything on your proposal. Whatever words you are using, whatever theories you are using, you're very, very, very clear with that. So for me, they asked all about, at IITM, they mainly asked about the research and the past experience in the domain area of marketing. And methodology section was a very much emphasized, like what method would you use for doing or conducting that research? Because you should be practical in methodology. For example, if you want to conduct a research in influencer marketing, you cannot get to an influencer to collect the data. So you should show that how practical you are in your approach, and you're just not making up stories or faking up stories that you'll be doing that. So that's what it is there. And apart from all of it, I think confidence matters a lot, and your knowledge domain matters a lot. Even if you're not able to tackle any direct question which is there, but you have knowledge in your specific domain, you can at least answer it in some way and tell them that you don't know clearly, but you have read it somewhere and this must relate to that. You can be confident in saying no as well. Don't be intimidated by that you don't know something, but they should know that have that approach of knowing that thing. Your attitude matters a lot from your knowledge, and it's just that want you to know how calmly you handle things, because research is something which is like, I'm talking about my personal experience totally. Research is something which is very much attitude oriented as well. So they want to know that are you open to things, you open for new domains. For example, what research proposal I've written then and what I'm working on now is completely at two different things, which is completely poles apart. So they asked me in the interview, like, will I be willing to work on anything apart from my proposal which I have proposed there? So you should be open to new things, new challenges, new opportunities. I think that is what they are looking for in young researchers. Apart from your knowledge, I think knowledge everyone will be having if they are reaching up to the interview level. They just want that attitude part. So make it correct, make it good, and if you are able to convince them that you will be working in that manner, so I think you are in. That's it. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Sneh. And now we can directly take up questions for like all the domains. Like you can unmute yourself and ask. I think we covered all the domains, correct, Sagar?
Yes, we have covered all. We can start.
Okay.
We can start taking questions.
Has integrative management been covered?
No, but have you applied for it?
Yeah.
Okay. Unfortunately, we don't have any MS last year, or I think PhD also, like in our contact. Last year, I don't think anybody got admitted from it. Am I right? Sneh and Vijay, am I right? So for that,
I don't think we have.
For that reason,
this year we don't have any, but we have other people.
Yeah. Sorry for
Seniors
that.
we do have.
Do they not shortlist for integrative management MS, or there is no student?
No, they might have shortlisted, but after interview, here what happens? It's not fixed that this many students they will finally select and all. It's completely up to their wish. If they like 3 students, they would select 3. If they would like 6 students, they would select 6. And if they would not like anyone, they would not select anyone. Okay, it's just like that. Okay, so for that reason, I think nobody was selected.
Vivek, what you can do is just check the scholars list on departmental website and get in touch with them. Means whoever they are in integrated management.
Yeah.
Hello, Tulsi sir, is my voice audible?
Yeah, Rajat.
Sir, I was telling that if they ask me about my final year project, and I have applied for operations, right? But my project has no sync with the research proposal or the area I'm interested to work in.
None of us had. None of us had. Okay.
So
we
how
were
to
from
justify?
mechanical.
No, I'm from
We are
production.
from. Okay, you are from production. Okay.
Yeah.
First of all, they would not ask about your project most probably. Okay, because that is most probably asked in core mechanical, core aerospace and all. But here I have not heard like from any student that they have asked about their these projects and all, because like very rarely anybody does any project for this industrial engineering and all. Okay, so for that reason they are asking a strong research proposal for this. Okay.
But one thing I want to ask, like as you said that. Hello.
Go on.
Like
continue.
Like you said that very few students are there who do a project on industrial engineering related topics, but I had a chance to work in an internship for approximately 1.5 months related to industrial engineering. So can I link that if they ask me about their project, can I say that in final year I have not done a project related to industrial engineering, but in my internship I had done this and this. So can I go ahead if they ask me about the project like this?
So in your internship you have done in the field of industrial engineering, correct?
Yeah. Like I was working on some assembly line projects.
Yes. Anything whichever you have done in like for industrial or supply chain or anything, you can say that. No doubt in that. Okay.
Rajat, what you can do while introducing yourself, you can focus more on your internship rather than your project. So counter question will be more probably on your internship part, not on the project part. Okay.
Oh, it's a way of means I am diverting the interview as per my choice. Is it?
What can you repeat again?
Yes. Basically what you need to do when you would introduce yourself, you need to mold your interview according to your way only. Okay, so you just introduce yourself in such a way that like in your introduction only you mention about your internships and all, so that you would get all the questions regarding your internships like from your introduction only. Okay, you would not have any question from your projects. Okay.
Yes, that works many a time.
What about this new department of entrepreneurship introduced this year?
Yeah, was it introduced this year?
Think so.
Was it there last year? Last year, I think so.
Last year was also there, I think.
But,
yeah. But I don't think anybody applied for that. I have no idea regarding that. Like Saga or anyone else, do you have any idea regarding entrepreneurship?
This department was open while we were applying also in 2019 and 20, but I remember the list which the final list when we got selected, there was nobody from entrepreneurship. I don't think so. They're onboarding many as of now, but there's always a chance.
But what I have heard, like one guy approached me regarding this entrepreneurship and all. So after I contacted a few people, what I got to know that like if you already have a like idea regarding a startup, or you have already started that, then only I think they get like give you a chance. That's what superficially I have heard.
Yeah, I read one mail which we got, campus-wide mail, which had the best entrepreneurship scholar award went to a person who came up with an idea, executed an idea, and published the idea also within that time frame when he was a scholar in IITM.
Okay.
Then.
Yeah.
For marketing, what are the topics we need to be thorough, like what all we need to study so that we'll get good scope in interview, and what are the books we need to go through before interview for marketing?
So for marketing, Kotler is like Bible. So read the entire Kotler thing. That will give you perspectives on anything, whatever is there in marketing. And theories such as like cognitive dissonance theory, all the 4Ps, 7Ps, 7Cs in marketing, who has given that, when did it come into picture, how it has evolved over time. So these things were mainly focused upon. And apart from these Kotler and thing, if there are any additional books you have read on marketing, you can always show that off then. For example, Blue Ocean Strategy, these kind of books. It's better to read those kind of novel kind of books, which will give you an edge over other candidates, because most of the people miss on those kind of books. So give those strategies, and also apart from these theories and books, be very thorough with what's happening in the industry out there. What kind of ads, if you are wanting to go in advertising or branding or consumer behavior, you need to be very aware like what's going out. For example, in one of my interview, they asked me about Zomato. So as I had a prior work experience also there, it was all about their marketing campaigns, all whatever they've done there. And in one of the interviews, they talked about these big companies, how they are talking about the consumer behavior aspect. So read some marketing journals on that. You'll be very thorough with what's happening in the industry, and moreover, also read these newspapers which covers these aspects, because advertising is something which is everyone is aware about. So a lot of questions can come on that. And for one more thing which they focused on, for example, they talked about agriculture marketing to me as well, because marketing was one of my areas and research proposal. So there they in agriculture marketing, they didn't talk me about, they didn't ask me about what's the scenario or what's happening. They talked about what has happened in the past, like 70 years or during independence. What was the state of agriculture in the country? What is the state of agriculture now? How can it be improved? So totally different topic from marketing, and you need to know about the agriculture part as well. So these kind of related areas you need to prepare. You need to know about contract farming. You need to know about these mandis which are operating, these laws, these marketing laws, farm laws which has come. So these this way I think you need to prepare. You just need not focus on the proposal which you are writing, but each and every word which you are writing on your proposal. But yeah, Kotler will help you totally. Read Kotler pura.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Yeah,
I have one last question. Like, can anyone share their interview experience, like which acted as a positive point or a turning experience, like tricks, like tips, which got you selected, like which resonated with you with the professor? So any
that's what I talked about now. I went through all the area of interest. I just shared a link, okay, which will take you to the all the faculties list. And okay, so I went through all of them's area of interest. Okay, and I was aware who was in my interview panel, because when at the day of an interview, what will happen? You will be in the queue. And in that Telegram group only, there are 350 members. Okay, so you can communicate with each other. Similarly, we had a group in WhatsApp last year. So who were ahead of me, I could ask them who were in the interview panel. Okay, so regarding that, I could quickly shuffle through whatever I have researched about those faculties, what are their area of interest, and I turned my interview in that particular way. For example, in my panel, Usha ma'am was there. Okay. For operations. So I went in YouTube. You would find one video of Usha ma'am's. You would find she was being interviewed by some person, where she was telling that what all aspects she needed in a scholar, like what all aspects.
Yeah, the 1 hour video.
I don't remember. That was last year. So I used exactly the same words which she used in that video to resonate with her. Okay. So these are a few basic hacks you can do just go through all of their area of interest. That would be also fine, and remember their faces, so that like when you face them in the interview, you should remember like what are their area of interest, so that you could like talk to them with regarding that. Correct?
Okay. Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tulsi sir, you said about the going to the NPTEL videos of Srinivasan sir. So there are two full the playlists are there. One is of operation research, in
Yes.
which we have topics like unboundedness, duality theorem, and then and we have algebraic method, graphical methods.
Yes.
Those are there. And another is of the, you said, of the supply chain management. So I went through half of the lectures of the first one that I described just now, and I didn't go for the supply chain management. And in the text also I told you about that my research proposal was somewhat, I just didn't copy actually, but I took ideas from there. Yeah, about the quality management and supply chain. You wrote about, you said that you wrote about the research. So I wrote the same thing, but I didn't copy actually.
Yeah.
But
No
my
issues,
research
no
areas
issues.
were also inclined to those things.
No issues. Just be clear about the definition of quality management. What is quality? That Six Sigma and all those questions. Be ready to face. And regarding supply chain, the basic questions: what is supply chain? What is logistics? The warehouses and all. Look, only the surface level, the basic definitions. Okay, because in our gate level, this supply chain logistics, these total TQM, these were not there in our gate syllabus. Okay, so they would not ask in deep, but they would just ask the basic idea behind that. Okay.
So where should I go again to polish up these
YouTube there are
concepts like quality management?
In YouTube there are thousands of videos regarding that. Like you can just type total quality management. Like animated videos are also there where you can understand. In YouTube, in YouTube itself you can get everything.
Okay. And apart from that, whatever you said that about the probability distribution analysis, statistics, then you said about going to all the faculties and checking out their areas of interest. Then you also named about the CPLEX and other the softwares that you need to understand. Yes. So I wrote this down, and if I fully prepare it, then my chances will be a bit higher.
Definitely.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. This was
Sir, may I ask one question?
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, my question is for information system I applied for, and I mentioned recommender systems in my research proposal. So I would to ask that how can I prepare for the same topic? I have a background in electronics, but I have some exposure to programming like data structures and basics for Java programming. So please guide me regarding this.
Hi Archit. For technical questions in regarding to computer science, it will be all within the GATE syllabus, and for recommender systems, you can expect that they will ask the algorithm which you are following, how you are doing your how you are doing the project or whatever research proposal you have written, and try to learn a few technical definitions on recommender systems. You will get those in the internet. And study few algorithms that are followed in recommender systems and a few algorithms in data analytics.
Okay. And like I have appeared, I have an electronics communication background. What I can study more to cope up with the questions regarding computer science and all.
They can ask you questions on computer science technical domain, but mainly I think research proposal will play a major factor over here.
Okay.
If you have done any already done any research on or any internship in computer science, they can ask questions from there as well.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Sir, how can I justify for a change in the field? Like I am from electrical engineering, so how can I justify that I want to go in the management studies? Like, will there be a certain answer to convince them?
do you have some internships in industry?
No, not sir, not such like that.
See, if someone have internship in industry, they can say like, Miss, I was working this XYZ industry. Means not for you. If anyone has industrial experience, they can say that I have worked in XYZ internship. There I see much problems related to operations, and somehow I saw the scope of industrial engineering here, and we can enhance them. Then I started reading some operations related stuff, and I got some inclination from there. Means suppose if you are from electrical or any other background other than PI, means if someone had done internship in PI also, they can also say this. This also makes some positive impression. This how you get inclined towards operations. So internship is one thing where you can get connected. Also in project, means if you have done some project also, you can form some connecting link through to connect your project with your this trade shifting from electrical or from some other branch to some management studies. Project and internships are two things I think to shift your this trade shifting.
Okay, sir. Like I'm not so well versed. I have applied in the finance background, so they'll ask definitely they'll ask questions from finance also. So being an electrical engineering, I would not be able to answer like fluently, like well versed. I'm not. If I start preparing it by now also, then I can't answer like that. Who is already from the management background. So is there any scope will it be worth to prepare for it?
Vijay, are you there? I think.
Yeah. Shubham, are you applying for
Okay.
MS?
Hello. Sorry, Vijay. Just a second. Saga, can you take all the questions? Like I'm getting a call from my guide, so I have to go now. Okay. So for all the operation.
Hello.
Yes. I will take question. You can go.
Okay, you can take the questions for all the operations. Okay.
Hello,
Okay. Then bye, guys. I'm getting a call. Okay. So
Hello?
Yes, wishes to everyone. Okay.
Wait.
Hello.
Yes. You can go. I'm saying yes. Jonada,
Hello, bro.
you can speak.
Bro, sorry for disturbing you, but I didn't listen what to study about marketing. Please repeat it once.
See, I'm going to upload this video, okay, on YouTube or Google Drive link, so you can get information from there. Sneha has explained very well like what to study in marketing.
Okay, bro. Thanks.
Yes. Vijay, you can go ahead.
Thanks, Sagar. Shubham, are you applying for MS?
Yes, ma'am, for finance background.
Okay. Apart from what Sagar has said, if you do not have any internship or project that you have done in finance, I think you don't have to worry so much, because I'm sure there's been a reason why you opted for finance, although you had this engineering background, right? So you just have to tell them what the reason is in a very convincing way. So I feel that if you just be genuine and tell them why or what exactly triggered your interest in management, that itself would help you a lot in the interview. So it is completely okay, because a BTech MBA or BTech and management is actually a very good combination. So you don't have to worry so much. You can just tell them why you really chose. Something must have triggered you, right? So you can just tell them what it is for. So that is what I feel. And moreover, I think the focus will be more on what you want to do rather than what you have done in the past. It is not like a typical job interview. Here, people will want to know what you're going to do in the next few years. So if you can convince them on what your idea is about the future, I think that would be fine. And as far as the basic reading goes, I think you must have submitted your research proposal in finance. So you can just get to learn a little more on whatever area you have proposed whatever you have mentioned in the research proposal. A basic idea of that should be fine, I think.
Ma'am, I didn't have much knowledge about research proposals that time. So basically, I have just written that what is finance and what motivated me to pursue finance. And my research proposal, I didn't actually mention some specific topic means it is not that good. I think I didn't have that much knowledge, so I don't know. Like
okay, in that case, then maybe you will still have about 7 to 10 days time. If you think anything in finance is of interest to you, on which you can do your research, even now you can do some reading on it, and maybe at that point of time you can explain to them. So that is also fine, I think.
Okay, thank you.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Vijay ma'am. Myself Harsharatna, and
Yes,
I am also applied for finance, and my topic was about the behavioral finance. So how can you guide for this?
Yeah, behavioral finance, I would suggest that you please go through all the behavioral finance theories, investor behavior. So there are quite a few theories on behavior, like starting right from herd mentality, contrarian approach, and all that. So I would suggest that you give a lot of reading on behavioral theories of finance. That is one of the most, I think, most talked about, or rather researched topic actually. So there is a lot of scope for you to read the recent papers, and please read the theory on behavioral finance. I think that itself should help you a lot. And of course, you explain your research proposal. Why did you choose it? What implication it will have on the other stakeholders?
Basically, ma'am, while during last year lockdown, I came to know about the stock market, and these things developed and interest me about the finance. So can I direct my interview in that such way that stock market and all these related stuff develop and interest in me?
Yes, definitely you can. But I would suggest that you would also have a backing of some data about stock market. Like you can tell in the last year how the stock markets have moved in different periods. Like in March, it fell down very badly, and after that it recovered and around August, September, and now it is going up and up, although nothing is good around, So if you're able to explain that a little bit with some data and all that, then it should be fine. So you can combine whatever you know about how this 1 year, how the stock market has been behaving, and also combine it with the behavioral theories. I think it should be a good combination.
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Ma'am. Hello.
Yeah, Vivek. Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a question like regarding this basic aptitude questions like probability and statistics, which I've not learned in my GATE syllabus. Like, what to expect, like, and where to actually learn these topics if ever ask these questions.
If you don't have any idea about probability and statistics, actually in my interview, they never asked me about any statistical technique. I have not written GATE because my background is commerce. So they didn't ask me anything, but in case you have written your GATE and all, then they might ask. But if you don't know anything, I would suggest maybe a basic book of Levin and Rubin on statistics for management. I think that would be a great place to start.
Okay.
See, Vivek, I have been asked some question about statistics. They don't ask much deep about statistics. Means they ask me about measures of central tendency, which method is best for measuring central tendency. Means this was tricky question, like which method was best. Then what are the differences in between central tendency? What is variance? What is standard deviation? Why variance of population and sample is different? Like this basic question, not much in deep. Okay, so you can refer some YouTube playlist also apart from reading the book. Okay.
Yeah, there is one YouTube playlist like from IIT Madras itself regarding this. So can I go through that?
Yes.
Yeah, not much deep, just a basic question. Yes, Ram, you can go ahead.
Yeah, no problem. Actually, like just adding to this point, actually, there's an NPTEL course on Introduction to Data Analytics taken by Professor Nandan and Professor Ravindran. Actually, you don't need to look into all the weeks there. They're like kind of 8 to 10 weeks or something. I'm not sure. The first 3-4 weeks covers the the statistics part, which would be very much sufficient for your for your interview. So could just take a look into that thing. I think that's fine.
Yeah, thank you so much, Sriram. Thanks.
Hello. Any other having any questions? So are we done? 25 participants are left. So do we have any further questions? or should we conclude?
Yeah, sorry for disturbing again. Like, when can we expect this shortlisted candidates for MS in PhD?
I think they have mentioned shortlisting in, I think, 2nd or 3rd week of May, and after shortlisting, after 10 to 15 days, there will be interview. Most probably after 10 days, there will be interview. Means in between shortlisting and interview, we don't have much gap, so we have to start prepared. Means you have to start prepared just by now.
Okay, thanks.
Hello, Sagar.
Yes, Durgesh.
Sagar, as I have very less CGPA, that is 7.18, and I have a gate score of 683. So, do I have a chance of getting the call?
Getting the call depends on means CGPA as well as that gate score as well as your research proposal. So we can select. See, Shriram has gate score of I think 550. Yes, Shriram, am I correct?
Yeah, 520. Yeah.
Means he has a gate score of 550, but his CGPA is tremendously high, like 9 point something. So his CGPA is actually overshadowing his gate score. So it depends actually. It is much dynamic. It depends on professors, like how they are considering it. Okay, so means if you have one parameter less, then you must have another parameter in greater quantity.
Okay. And does work experience matter? I also have a work experience of 2.5 years.
Did you mention that in your application form?
Yes.
Yes, it does matter. Experience does matter, and focus on your experience while introducing yourself, and also prepare like what you have done in your experience, means what in your work.
It is not related to operations, but I can relate to it. I have experience of a design engineer in mechanical design engineer.
Yes, that's the thing. You have to link only. That's the thing.
Okay.
Yeah, but it does matter. It does matter.
Okay, and thank you everyone for this session.
Okay. Anyone having questions, or should we conclude now? Okay, I don't think any questions left now. So thank you everyone for joining us, and I would like to thank everyone who shared their journey today, like Sneha, Vijaya, Meghna, Somdeep, and Tudushi.